Hey, welcome back to another walkthrough. This walkthrough, we're going to go with Chapter 10, Grader Project, Pharmacy. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll download our files. And make sure that you click on each individual file here. Do not click on the Download All Files button. What that does is it downloads a zip file. We will be using an access file, this pharmacy suppliers, which means that you will not be able to do this assignment on a Mac. All right, once we have all of our files downloaded, let's go ahead and open up and print our instructions. And go ahead and open up your student file. And lastly, go ahead and enable editing. All right, so we are done with step number 1. We've downloaded our files. On step number 2, it wants us to ensure that the Pharmacy Suppliers Info worksheet is selected. So let's go ahead and make sure Pharmacy Suppliers Info sheet is selected. And go ahead and put your cursor and make A2 the active cell. A2 is the active cell. On the Data tab on the left end of the ribbon, it says in the Get and Transform Data group, we want to get data from a database. So let's go ahead and come up here and click on our Data tab. And from our Data tab, let's come over here to where it says Get Data. And from Database. And from a Microsoft Access database. And once you get this import data box, let's go to our downloads folder. Go ahead and click on the pharmacy suppliers and hit import. Now, if you are a Mac user, if you look on step 2, there is a note at the very bottom of step 2 that will help you walk through doing this on a Mac. It looks like there is a separate Excel file that you can use to import this data. So if you are a Mac user, look at step number 2. At the very bottom, there should be a Mac alternative. And once it's loaded, go ahead and click on this 10G Pharmacy Suppliers. And notice we can see all of our different data here. And go ahead and click on Load. And once it's done loading, notice that we'll have all of our data here, and we have a newly created sheet number 1. We can go ahead and close this queries and connections. We're done with that little sidebar. Now on our new sheet, it wants us to select the range A1 to G11. So let's go ahead and highlight A1 all the way down to G11. Let's highlight this entire table. Let's go ahead and copy. Go ahead and right click and hit copy. And then let's go to the Pharmacy Suppliers Worksheet. Pharmacy Suppliers Info Worksheet. Go ahead and right click in cell A2. And under paste options, go ahead and select the first paste button. Now we want to highlight rows A through G. So let's come up here to hover on the A. Notice you'll get this black arrow pointing down. Go ahead and click hold and drag all the way over to G. Once you've highlighted A through G, go in between C and D. Get these 2 arrows pointing away from each other right there and double click really fast. And that will auto fit all of our contents for us. And now that we have our data here, we can go ahead and delete sheet 1. So go ahead and right click on sheet 1 and hit delete. And yes, it will permanently delete the sheet. Go ahead and hit delete. So now we have our data imported. On step number 3, it wants us to display the pharmacy staff worksheet. So let's go ahead and click on pharmacy staff worksheet. And we want to insert a D-average function in cell B18 that calculates the Our average hourly wage for pharmacists using the criteria in range C18 to C19. Let's go ahead and come up here to our FX button. And from our FX button, let's go ahead and type in where it says type a brief description, type in D average. Once you've typed in D average, go ahead and hit go. And it should be the first option here, hit OK. Now our database is going to be A3 colon F16. You can go ahead and highlight A3 all the way down to F16 if you'd like, or you can type in A3 colon F16 in database. Our field that we're looking for is hourly wage. Let's go ahead and type in hourly wage. And our criteria is going to be C18 to C19. So C18 colon C19. So A3 to F16, hourly wage, and C18 to C19, and hit OK. And that should give us $32.76, because that is the average hourly wage for a pharmacist. We want to change that to an accounting number. So we'll come up here to our number format, and the $sign is the accounting number format. Go ahead and click on the $sign. So now it's for step number 4, we want to insert a D sum in cell B21. So let's go ahead and click on cell B21. And we want to use a database sum to sum the wage per shift for all the pharmacy technicians. So that's easy enough. We're going to come up here to our FX button again. This time we're going to type in dsum, hit go. dsum should be the first option, hit OK. Our database is going to be the same database, A3 all the way down to F16, A3 colon F16. This time our field is going to be wage per shift. Make sure you capitalize the wage and shift. And this time the criteria is going to be C21 down to D22. So C21 colon D22. Go ahead and hit OK. And it'll come out to be $686.04 or 40 cents. Let's go ahead and apply the accounting number format to that. So we'll come up here to our number grouping and hit the $sign for accounting number format. So there we go. We used our database to find our average hourly wage for pharmacists, and we summed together all of the pharmacy technician wages per hour, or wages per shift. Now for step number 5, we want to display the pharmacy supplies inventory worksheet. So let's go ahead and click on pharmacy supplies inventory. And we want to insert a table in the A7 through E42 range. So let's go ahead and highlight A7 all the way down to E42. Once you've highlighted A7 all the way down to E42, we're going to go to the Insert tab. And from the Insert tab, we are going to click on Table. And yes, we want to create a table. Yes, my table has headers, so make sure that's check marked and go ahead and hit OK. So now we have a table. For step number 6, we want to display the Physicians Clinic worksheet. So let's go ahead and find the Physicians Clinic worksheet. And we want to copy the range A1 to E32. So let's go ahead and find A1 and highlight all the way down to E32. And we want to copy this range, so go ahead and right click somewhere in here and hit copy. Let's go back to the pharmacy supplies inventory worksheet. Let's go to cell F6. So let's hover up to F6 right here. Right click in cell F6 and hit paste. This first paste option here. Now it says it wants us to insert a table using the range F7 to J37. So let's go ahead and click on cell F7 and then highlight from F7 all the way down to J37. Let's go to the Insert tab, and from the Insert tab, click on Table and hit OK. And now we have two tables side by side. So with the table that we just created, we want to apply a table style medium 7. So let's go ahead and come up here to our Table Tools Design tab. Under our table styles, let's click the down arrow with the line above it. We want medium style. So we want to come down here to medium and find style number 7, which is this table right here, green at table style medium. Now with this still selected, we want to auto fit. So let's go ahead and come up here between G and H. With this entire range still selected, I want you to double click really fast when you get the two arrows pointing away from each other. And I want you to do the same thing between F and G. Highlight in between F and G. Get the two arrows pointing away from each other. Double click really fast. And between H and I, go ahead and hover in between H and I. Get the two arrows pointing away from each other. Click double fast. And then between I and J, go ahead and double click really fast. And then lastly, in between J and K, get the two arrows pointing away from each other and double click really fast. And now we have auto fit all of these columns. Now for step number 8, it wants us to sort both tables by model number and then by purchase price, largest to smallest. So let's go ahead and click on this first table here. You just click anywhere. We'll go ahead and just click right here. Notice how I have labels, hospital logo. So as long as any of these cells are selected and this table is selected, we can go ahead and come up to our Home tab. And from our Home tab, under our Editing group, let's click on Sort and Filter and do a Custom Sort. And we are first going to sort by model number, A to Z, and we're going to add a level, and then we're going to sort it by purchase price. Let's click the down arrow, select purchase price, and we want to go from largest to smallest, and go ahead and hit OK. And now let's go ahead and click on the second table over here. Let's go back up here to our Sort and Filter, Custom Sort. First we're going to sort by model number, and then we are going to add a level, and we are going to sort by purchase price and change this from smallest to largest to smallest, and hit OK. So now we've sorted both tables. So now we want to apply a conditional formatting to the range E8 to E42. So let's go ahead and highlight E8 all the way down to E42. And we want to do a conditional formatting, so we'll go to the Home tab. Under our Home tab, under our Styles grouping, we'll do conditional formatting. We want to do an icon set using the 3 traffic lights rimmed right here, this icon set right here. And we want to do the same thing to range J8 to J37. So let's come over here to J8, highlight all the way down to J37, conditional formatting, icon sets, and then click the 3 rimmed traffic lights. Now it says in the range C8 to C42, we want to create a new conditional formatting rule. So let's go ahead and find C8 to C42. So here's C8. We're going to hover all the way down to C42. And we're going to come up here to our Home tab. Under our Home tab, under Styles, Conditional Formatting, we want to do a new rule. And under our new rule, we want to find where it says use a formula. So let's go ahead and click on use a formula to determine which cells to format. And the formula that we are going to put in is going to be equal sign C8 equal sign in parentheses or in quotation marks pharmacy spill kit, and then close your quotation marks. So equal C8 equal, and then quotation marks, pharmacy spill kit. We want to set our formatting, so let's click on Format. We want to do bold italic. So let's go to our font group here. Let's click on bold italic. And we want to change it to red font color. So that's where it says color here, automatic. Let's change it to red, which is the second one under standard colors. And go ahead and hit OK. And OK. And now notice how pharmacy spill kits are all formatted correctly. Now it wants us to delete the Physician's Clinic worksheet. So let's go ahead and find Physician's Clinic worksheet. Let's right click on it and hit delete and hit delete. And it wants us to group the remaining worksheets. So let's go ahead and right click on Pharmacy Supplies Inventory and hit select all sheets. Once all three sheets are selected, we want to insert a header. So let's go up to our page layout tab. And from our page layout tab, let's click on this little guy right here, our page setup dialog box. Let's go to our header footer. We're going to do a custom header. And let's go to the right section and we're going to put in the sheet name, which is right here, insert sheet name. And go ahead and hit OK. Now we want to do a custom footer. And in the left section, we want to insert our file name, which is this one right here. And go ahead and hit OK. So now we have the sheet name up here, the file name down here. Go ahead and hit OK. Go ahead and scroll all the way up to the top here and go ahead and click on cell A1. It wants us to center all three worksheets horizontally on the page. So let's go ahead and come back to our page layout tab. Let's go ahead and click on this little guy again, our page setup dialog box. Let's click on margins. Under center on page, put a check mark next to horizontally. Now let's click on page tab. We want to fit to one page by one page. And we want to go to our, we want to change it to landscape, our orientation to landscape. And go ahead and hit OK. All right, lastly, we want to go to our File tab. And we're going to put in our properties. So let's go ahead and click on Show All Properties. And under Add a Tag, let's type in Pharmacy Supplies. And then under Subject, let's type in CGS. Right click on Go Series and hit Remove Person. And then go ahead and type in your name. And we're done. Let's go ahead and save our file. And we can go ahead and exit out of our file. Come back to our download starting materials. Let's exit out of this. We will choose our file. And we'll come up here to our student file under downloads, chapter 10, hit open, upload, and then submit for grading and close assignment. Now I want to see how well I did, so I'm going to scroll down to my assignment. I'm going to click on the three dots, view submissions, and it looks like I got 100%. Once again, you can click on this and look at your report card. If you made any mistakes, feel free to fix them and resubmit this assignment for the best grade possible. Once again, if you need to contact me through Canvas. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel, as I'll be posting new walkthroughs and tech tips each week. Check back regularly for new content, and have a wonderful day.